Hey guys, Matt, Iron Trap Garage. Thanks for joining us for another edition of the Sweetheart Roadster. So we, in the last episode, tore apart the whole back end here and pulled all the rusty metal out that I needed to repair. And the first thing we need to tackle are these little triangular shaped corner brackets. You can buy these reproduction, but they're pretty darn simple. And I mean, if you got sheets of 18 gauge sitting around, it's almost just as easy to make one, especially if you're doing a hot rod like this where it doesn't need to be, you know, exactly 100-point restoration. You can make one pretty simple and pretty easy. So I've already made one here on this side. So the one that we have right here, I made a pattern off of this. I copied it, and we're going to show you how we made this piece. The only difference was, and I realized that after I made this part, this one was so rotted I couldn't tell what was going on in the bottom, and when I just happened to be looking for reference photos online, I saw that technically down here there's supposed to be like a joggle bend that goes down and goes over top of the inside area of the sub rails where it was bolted or riveted in. I already made this one and I made a pattern for the other one. What I'm going to be doing, since I'm welding, I'm not really riveting, I'm going to actually take the TIG welder and I'm going to run a bead right along the bottom here, and it's going to be just as strong. And once this is all covered up, you'll never know the difference anyways. But to save myself some metal, just because I don't have those little tabs on it, I'm just going to use these and work with it. It should be fine. It'll be just as strong. So now we made this one. I got the other one here that's all rusty, and I got the piece cut out here. So we're going to go over to the bead roller and show you how we make this up real quick. So let's go. Alright, so I got the piece cut. First thing we're doing is we're going to be using the bead roller to make the step or recess that's in this panel so that it sinks in and goes in just behind where the trunk, where the gutter is. So what I've done here is I made up a little bead roller die that I was using for tipping edges. I flipped it around backwards, and then I spaced out the bottom of just a normal bead die here. And what that did is it gave me an offset, and I ran this down pretty much all the way. So what it's going to do is it's going to push down on the top die, and the bottom die is going to stay where it is, pushing the piece up. So that's going to give us that offset, which gives that pressed look that a lot of people are looking for. Or if you're trying to replicate something, you can do it with this. So I got my line drawn right here that I'm going to be following. So I'm going to follow that line. And then that should be it. We'll show you where we're at from there. Alright, so we put this in the bead roller, that put the little step in it and push this section out like I want. So when it's inside the car like this section is pushed out so it meets up with the flange that follows along on the trunk. Now what it has, the original piece, this little line I've drawn here, it's kind of curved a little bit, and that's actually folded in. So what I can do, a quick way to do it if you guys just want to, like I've mentioned in other episodes, I got this little tipping tool, or a little folding tool that I use all the time. So I'm just going to go over that real quick with this and then clean it up with the hammer and dolly. Takes a minute or two, and then we're ready to test fit the piece. Okay, so we got this piece made here. Fits in pretty good. Just with a little pressure here, once it's spot welded to the brace, it'll do good. Now what I did actually, and I don't think the original has this, but just for what I'm doing, it seems to fit a little better the way I'm doing it. I'll pull this clamp off here. I cut a little notch out right here in where it's got a tipped edge, just so it fits around this box section a little nicer. It just seemed to fit a little nicer, and then what I could do is I can weld right around that, right to this box section, and it'll be nice and strong. Now, next thing we need to address in this little portion of the repair is on both sides here, this little channel is all rotted away at the bottom. I mean, this one's missing 2-3 inches of the piece. So I'm going to cut it up into good metal because it's all pitted and crappy in here. And I'm going to cut up probably above this mounting bolt for the original hinge area. I'm going to cut up into here so we have good metal. And I'm just going to bend up a little piece of channel and make it so that it straddles down over the sub rail, weld it all in, and then we can put these braces in and start moving forward. So let me make these channels and then we'll get everything kind of put together. Alright, so I got this piece made. We welded in the channel section here, and I made the little flange. We got a close-up photo, you guys can see that. And I got that cleat in. Then I started fitting this little triangle piece that we made, and I matched it to the shape of the original. But once I started fitting it up, again, I'm not building this 100% original, so I don't really care if it is exactly right. I want it to look good and be strong. So there was a point sticking out over this, and it just wasn't sitting right. Probably something's a little different in my panel, but I want it to look good and fit right. So I rounded the corner off so it matches the flow of this channel here. And then what I'm going to do here, I think to get this to sit a little better in, there's a little bit of a gap there. Instead of me flexing the panel and forcing it to fit and welding it, I'm going to put another little joggle bend in it like I did here. And I'm going to run it right down, a line right down there. What that's going to do is it's going to press the center in a little bit, and it's going to push this section out. So it's going to kind of offset it so that it sits in a little bit better, and then it should actually sit pretty nice. So I'm going to draw the line, we'll run it through the bead roller, and then this side should be done. Alright, so I put that little joggle bend in it, and that was the ticket. So by doing that, it offset the panel just a little bit. And what that did is that put the bottom here is darn close to being flush. And once I actually fit this piece in and just push on it, just has to be pushed on just a little bit, sand it. We actually get to weld it. I'll give you a nice clean seam that I can weld in there. But that makes it nice and clean. It looks like it fits. It looks like it's supposed to be there. Restoration guys will notice it's not original, but for what I'm doing, I'm pretty happy with it. So got this side in, got the other side made. We're going to Cleco that in place, weld it all in, and I'm going to finish up just fixing some of this little rusty braces and pieces in here that need to be done, or kind of same process, but kind of boring. So I'm going to finish all of those up, and next episode, what we're going to do is tackle the rusty rear lower panel that goes below the deck lid. This thing is rotten and paper thin. So I've already taken the pattern off of that, and I got my fresh metal right here. It's already scribed out with my bend lines and everything. So we're going to take this and show you guys how to make this lower panel just like it was the original, make it fit up, and it should be a pretty fun one. So that's all I got for this episode. I appreciate you guys sticking with us. We should be getting into some pretty fun making panel stuff here soon, and welding really quickly. So thanks guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We're doing videos, actually right now we've been doing videos Tuesdays and Fridays. So Tuesdays I've been getting on the Pagoda City Coupe, getting it together, ready to hopefully make it a car and drive it soon. So we've been doing videos on Tuesdays, and then Fridays doing videos on this. So make sure you subscribe, share with your friends. Thanks for watching guys. Catch you later.